What's up, everybody? Lore here with more Heart of the Swarm beta action. Finally back in again, getting some stuff going here. We have today a Zerg versus something. I actually didn't check to see who his opponent was first. Let's check this out here in the southeast corner here on Star Station, I believe is the name of this map. We have Risk as our red Zerg player, and over here on the southwest corner we have none other than jyeR, J-Y-E-R. I'm going to call him jyeR, is the blue Protoss. Now, the interesting thing and the important thing to know about these matches that I'm casting here is I have no idea who these players are. I really just do not know who these guys are at all. These are matches that I pulled off of drop.sc just to give myself something to actually cast so that you guys could watch it. I have no idea what to expect out of these guys at all. He's saying he's played a GM and a Masters. Something's wrong with that, so chances are good that we have, at best... oh, there we go. He's gold player. All right, so this could be an interesting match. I'm still going to play it out anyway, just because, even if he's a gold player, not sure what Risk here is, can still see interesting things come out of those levels of play. It can be interesting at times. Ooh, looks like I'm getting a little bit of lag there, actually. That's unfortunate. It can still be interesting to see what these sorts of players can come up with. So at this point in the match, nothing major is going to have happened just yet. Just for a quick refresher, it's been a while. Actually, it looks like jyeR is going to be going for a fairly quick expansion here with that pylon positioning. That would be my expectation. He's, of course, getting some scouting going on as well. We have the spawning pool followed by the gas. No, actually, I believe that was the other way around. I think we went gas first here from our Zerg player Risk. So probably going to be going for early speedling, something like that. Pretty normal stuff. The early games in Heart of the Swarm are not that much different than in Wings of Liberty. I'm actually kind of surprised that he has only sent his Overlord over to here. I would imagine he wants to send it over here to get some scouting on. And we're actually seeing a fast-forward forge and gateway here from jyeR. So yeah, he definitely will be going. In fact, it looks like he's going to be dropping that down sometime soon. He's sitting at only around 200 minerals, but he should be dropping down his expansion sometime soon. No gas just yet out of jyeR over here. So definitely looking for that early economy lead. And he's actually scouting around over here. Might be able to block this expansion. And oh yeah, he does just barely. He almost moved out of the way. He's going to queue up some actions and block that off as long as he can. That little drone is nibbling away as quickly as possible. And looks like jyeR is actually going to get chased out of there. And is he going to lose the probe? No, the probe is... wait. Okay, the probe is going to run away. No, he's going to come back. And there's Zerglings, and he's going to run away from the Zerglings. But the Zerglings might actually be able to chase him down. No, they're going to stay back here. Okay, so expansion now down for Risk. He's made a total of, I believe that's just 4 Zerglings he's made now at this point. And down here we have the expansion coming up for jyeR as well. He's got his forge up. Nothing really researching in that just yet. Just getting out his zealot here to be able to block off this little gateway area here. So, what can we expect from these players? Well, we do have speed on the way from Risk here, as Zerg player. It's hard for me to really say what to expect out of him, honestly. Like, it's hard to anticipate what the players are going to do when you don't know anything about them at all. It's very, very difficult, which is why these are... it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for me to actually see if I can even cast matches like this, where I just have no idea who we're actually working with. Do have a Cybernetics core on the way from jyeR, going into very, very normal Protoss play. He's gotten up both of his gases in his main, and will more than likely, well, maybe not, but I would expect to see gases in his expansion some point in the near future as well. We have a extra macro hatchery coming up for Risk. That's not something that I've actually seen anyone doing in Wings of Liberty just yet, or excuse me, in Heart of the Swarm just yet. You see it from time to time in Wings of Liberty, but not until after the 3rd, sometimes 4th base are up. Because that's when the Zerg economy really starts to swing forward. So I do kind of question that move. He's going to come down in here and poke a little bit. There's a cannon there. It's going to chase away those Zerglings. No problem. And they're just going to go ahead and go running all the way back home. I actually would like to see him put one of them up here on this Xel'Naga watchtower to see any sort of incoming attacks. But he's going to send them back where they are safe at home, surrounded by creep, which I guess is like the Zerg version of a blankie. Alright, what have we got going at? There's the extra couple of gases now coming out for jyeR. He actually just doesn't have much in the way of mineral mining going on just yet. If we check out the resources, his income tab, or excuse me, income tab, there we go. Wanted to check the, yeah, about even both ways in terms of mineral income a little bit better on the gas for jyeR over here, and he does have a Stargate up, getting out a Void Ray, going for a very, very early Void Ray. Now, a lot of things have changed since the last few matches that I cast of Heart of the Swarm, especially in terms of the Protoss airplay. You may notice that the Tempest is now immediately available, and the Carrier is available once again. So they've been experimenting a lot with the balance of the air units for Protoss. Trying to find a good home for the Tempest especially. It seems like right now there's a lot of overlap between the Tempest, the Carrier, and the Void Ray. They sort of fulfill a lot of the same roles. So I'm actually really interested to see what jyeR ends up doing here. He did mention at the start of the game that he has been matched up against GMs and Masters, which there's not a ton of people playing right now in the beta, so it could just be a matter of not having the right people to play against. But it could also just be something along the lines of maybe he's ready for a promotion. Maybe he's about to get bumped up to Masters himself. Maybe jyeR is the next Bonjour. We will have to find out. He's going to come in here. Maybe this could be the Void Ray. This could be the game where we break jyeR into the mainstream, where we suddenly realize how good this guy actually is. This Void Ray micro, along with this Phoenix, this is going to be the match where everyone suddenly realizes that jyeR is going to win MLG, every single MLG in 2013. Or you know, maybe he'll just poke at some drones over there and then have to run away. He does lift up the Queen just to stop some damage. He's actually targeting down the Infestation Pit. With that lift on the Queen is going to drop here soon, but he may be able... No, he's going to go ahead and pull out of there. I felt like maybe he could have hung out a little bit longer, but these Hydralisks did come in, and they're going to force him back. He's going to try and pick off as much as he can around the outskirts while he's trying to micro things down, and may actually be able to finish off that Infestation Pit. He's going to pull it back again, but if he keeps poking in there like that, he may actually be able to finish that off. Now, the most important question on my mind while all of this is going on is, what does jyeR have going on back at home? We can see that Risk is keeping up his economy a little bit. He's about to finish his lair, and that's going to... Excuse me, actually, that's a Hive. That's a very, very early Hive for... Hive. There we go. Yeah, right term. Sorry. I get a little bit mixed up between lair and Hive sometimes. It's mostly because I'm retarded. But he has a very, very early Hive. We're at only about 10 minutes in, so... might be seeing something crazy coming out for Risk here early on. But like I said, the big question is, with all that micro going on with those air units, what did jyeR have coming? He is getting a robo facility up. Actually, it'll be a second robo facility, as well as a robotics bay hiding up over here. So he'll probably be transitioning into Colossus, which is very, very normal for a Protoss player to do. I would like to see these Nexuses have a little bit lower on that energy there. It can be kind of tough to keep up with that, and I imagine that would be where the loss of macro was coming in with that little bit of micro he was doing there. It's very hard to keep up with stuff like that while you're microing Void Rays around like that. And uh-oh, in production over here, we actually have some Vipers for Risk. I have not seen a lot of these being used anywhere just yet. There's only been a couple of matches that I've cast where I've actually seen them, and he now has 3 of them out there. These are the guys that have the consume ability, which essentially allows them to get energy back by dealing damage to one of their fellow structures. But they can also do Abduct, which yanks things over, which will be very, very good against these Colossi that jyeR is now working on. As well as the Blinding Cloud, which it's changed a couple of times, actually. Let's check and see what it's at the moment. Reduces attack range to units underneath it down to melee range, which can be very, very good against Stalkers, against Sentries. Not so good if jyeR ends up going for mostly Zealots. It does look like he's adding on a ton of gateways over here, trying to get up as much as he can. That will take him up to, let's see, that would be 9 there, plus another one down there. 10 total gateways that jyeR will be up to very soon here. I wonder if Risk can actually see those. No, he can't. He can barely just can't see those floating around over there. But he is going for a nice little combination of Vipers, Hydras, and Zerglings. Not a whole lot of very beefy units here. Nothing that can really tank too well, but he will have a lot of DPS output. If he can use that Abduct ability to pull things out of position, he may be able to just slowly pick apart jyeR's army, which at the moment isn't really all that impressive. He's got a few sentries out. He's got, actually, let's go ahead and check the units tab. Yeah, he's got a Void Ray, a Zealot, a couple Colossi, a couple Stalkers, and a few sentries, basically, is about all he's got. A couple of, Phoenixes floating around up over here as well, but he really doesn't have much in the way of army at this point in time. So this army from Risk is actually looking really, really scary overall. Does also have his third base now coming up over here. There he takes out those couple of Phoenixes that were floating around over there. And no third base yet for jyeR. It looks like he's going to want to expand there relatively soon, but no third base just yet. Real quickly, just wanted to mention this about the Mothership Core since we're taking a look at it. It's another unit that's gotten a whole lot of work and a whole lot of changes recently. It no longer has the ability to fire by itself. Instead, it will use its Purify ability on a Nexus and give the Nexus basically a large photon cannon sort of effect. And it also has lost its Energize ability. All it can really do otherwise is mass recall, and it has to be near the things to actually near the other units to actually mass recall them. It has to be in with your army. They did increase the movement speed quite a bit. That's only a hallucination sent over here to scout out a little bit. Some good little scouting there from jyeR. But yeah, it's made it a lot harder to do some of the more cheesier tactics that we were seeing coming out of Protoss, where they would immediately go over and poke and attack and then mass recall right away, so that they weren't ever at any risk of losing anything to that particular attack. So it's interesting. I'm not 100% sold on it either way just yet, but it is interesting at the very least. Now this is a lot of Colossi. jyeR has ramped up his production quite a bit since the last time we looked at his army. In fact, I almost think he might actually even have more Colossi than he does Zealots at this point. It's pretty close. He's got 15 Zealots and 6 Colossi to go along with them. Should actually be really good against this army composition, though. He does have, Risk does have these couple of Vipers in here, 4 Vipers total, that he can be abducting over those Colossi, but all of these units would just be torn to shreds by the remainder of the army at that point. So I'm actually really curious to see how this ends up working out. Risk does have a pretty massive supply lead. He's got himself supply blocked at the moment at 184, but that's to the 146 of jyeR. He's adding on as quickly as he can, but it seems that his decision to take this late of a third base is actually hurting him quite a bit. And now Risk is actually coming in here with that's a random force field. Risk actually coming in here with a pretty large force that jyeR is just not ready to attack just yet. He did drop down those force fields up over there, and he's sending out one Zealot to die horribly. There we go. That Zealot is now dead. And getting out as many force fields as he can. Now, what Risk wants to do, this is interesting. jyeR actually feeling the scent of blood there, but not quite a good time. Yeah, there's those grabs going out, those abducts going out from the Vipers for Risk, just tearing those Colossi apart, and now jyeR is screwed. There is not much that he can actually do here. Risk is pretty close to max. He's remaxing it as quickly as possible. That handful of abducts just tore jyeR's army apart. Nothing that could really be done about that at all. He got his army a little bit out of position, and now there's just, I mean, it's a bunch of Hydralisks, and that's about it. But it's a lot of Hydralisks. 60 supply for jyeR to 199 of Risk. And reinforcements are starting to stream across the map as well. I imagine Risk is just going to push in here at any moment now and take the win. You can just go attack move. Yeah, there we go. He's just waiting for those couple of reinforcements. Didn't really need them at all. I don't think he really understands or realizes the massive lead he now finds himself in. He's going to come in here, take out that photon cannon like it wasn't even there, and this should spell the end for our Protoss hero, jyeR. And there he goes. jyeR has left the game. No GG. But, you know, whatever. It's a random ladder map. You do what you got to do. So, yeah, that really just came down to better macro out of Risk. I was a little bit weird about that early. It was a really, really early extra macro hatchery. But he did take this extra third base a lot quicker than jyeR did. jyeR just did not have the economy to be able to keep up with Risk's production. He needed to be doing a lot more. If you're going to go with an opener like that, you need to be doing a lot more early aggression to sort of force your opponent to feel a little bit less safe about expanding like that and just sitting back and macroing up. But oh well, good games to both players. My name is jyeR. I will see you in the next match.